Hi everyone, how are you all doing and welcome back. So you need a Battlefield 5 and you see the Assault class and you're not really too sure what it's about. Well, the goal of this video is to bring you up to speed with all the basic information that you need to know. So without wasting any more time, let's jump in with how to play the Assault class. So the only role the Assault class has is to destroy and harass enemy vehicles by utilising the gadgets at your disposal and in turn making it difficult for the enemy to move around the map. Your main targets are tanks, transport vehicles and planes, but along with your sort of gadgets and weaponry, you can destroy houses, barricades, everything else that's sort of destructible around the map. So really make use of that when pushing onto objectives. If you know there's enemies behind cover and whatnot, you can really be quite versatile with this class. But like I mentioned, main target is the enemy vehicles and sort of supporting your team that way. So like all other classes, the Assault class has two perks. The Light Infantry perk is more centered around the player who likes to engage enemy players more than sort of vehicles, as one of the benefits is you'll find more ammo from killed players, and the second one is you'll regain more health compared to other roles. So if there's no med sort of station around or medic, and you run out of med packs yourself and you sort of take damage, you gain sort of a more portion of your health compared to other roles. So really useful for staying in the fight a bit longer until you can get sort of a med pack to you. The Vehicle Buster perk is more catered towards the player who likes engaging vehicles. So one of the benefits is damaging a vehicle spots them. So it'll come up on the map, so both yourself and teammates can see them. So it can be really useful for getting planes to come in and bomb them, or getting the tanks to sort of start engaging them as well. And the second perk is destroying vehicles grants extra requisition. So by destroying a vehicle, you'll get extra points towards your artillery strikes, smoke barrage, V1 rockets, and all those other sort of help that you can get on the battlefield. So really useful if you're doing like gauging large amounts of vehicles, especially on the bigger maps as well that have quite a few vehicles on them. So you can really rack up a few points towards your squad and get you sort of rolling in that. Now, jumping onto the weapons the Assault class can use, really good at sort of close, medium and long range. It can cover quite a wide base of engagements due to sort of the variety of weapons it has at its disposal. So starting off with the assault rifles, I do recommend the STG for that medium range engagement length. It does do well at close range, but really is a solid all-round gun, especially at medium range engagements. And for that sort of close to extremely close range, the M1907 SF, can't really go wrong with this gun. Real high rate of fire, small magazine, I believe it's 20 bullets, but hip fire, and if you can land those shots as well, really solid gun for those close range engagements. Moving on to the semi-auto rifle, you've got the Turner smle, really solid gun. You can spec out both sides of the tree to sort of suit either that aggressive assault class style, or sort of that passive style, sitting back a bit more and sort of attacking enemies from the outside of the objective. Can't really go wrong with that gun. Really do enjoy using it from time to time. So to round out the video, we'll move into the gadgets, starting with the launchers, gadget slot 2, and then grenades. Before moving on, I'll just mention a mechanic that's in the game called ricochet. There's a chance that your rockets can sort of graze the enemy vehicle if hit at a sort of angle that isn't sort of flat on to the target. You do get notified by it coming up saying glancing blow, and it does make like a high pitched like ring noise as it does it. So that's just so when I mention it in this video, you kind of know what I'm talking about. So starting off, we got the Panzerfaust. It's a good all-round, medium-range, low ricochet chance launcher, and it can disable vehicles after a few hits. Real nice sort of launcher for if you're getting into the assault class and you're still sort of figuring out how best to utilise it and how it works. So up next, we've got the M1A1 Bazooka. It's a long-range, fast-firing, minimal drop-off launcher, and it has the highest ammo count out of all other launchers. This is probably my preferred launcher. I just enjoy sort of that running and gunning sort of hit and run style of gameplay when playing against sort of enemy vehicles. I can get a shot off and get back into cover or move away without having to kind of worry about where the shot's going and kind of correct for it. And it also has this real nice feature where you can sort of change the targeting range a bit like you can with snipers. So you can sort of adjust a lot more easily instead of having to like sort of look up into the sky and arc your shot. You can sort of adjust the dials on the side and just make it that bit easier. So have a play around with that and get used to it. It does take a bit of learning, but it is, once you sort of nail it down, it is really rewarding. Moving on, we've got the final launcher, which is the PIAT. It's a low range, high damaged launcher, probably the most damage out of any other launcher. does have a high skill ceiling, and it can be used as a mortar. So if you look on the map when you're aiming in with it, a little black circle with red dot in the middle appears. So you can sort of arc your shots to land on top of sort of enemy vehicles and sort of do damage to them from above, as well as use it as a mortar on enemies as well. So infantry players, so it is a good bit of fun. And the sort of anti-air of the game is the Fliegerfaust. Real good sort of way to sort of get back at pilots. If they keep dive bombing and strafing your infantry, you can sort of deter them a bit. It did get nerfed a few updates ago, so it's not as strong as it used to be. But it's a good deterrent to stop sort of giving free rein to the enemy pilots from strafing your team. Just a quick side note: enemy vehicles do have weak points, so the back, side, above, tracks and engine are all weak points that you kind of want to target when engaging enemy vehicles. The front is the most sort of armoured area of the enemy vehicle, so you don't really want to, especially tanks, you don't really want to engage there. So you want to sort of target those bits to get sort of the most effective damage done to them. Moving on to the gadget slot 2, we've got the sticky dynamite. As the name suggests, it sticks on most surfaces and vehicles, unless that vehicle is running a specific perk, but from my experience, not many people run it. Up next, we've got the AT mine. Really good in high traffic areas. You want to make sure it's hidden, as most players are on the lookout for it, and it can be sort of spotted with flares and whatnot. So just make sure have it in high traffic areas, but you kind of want it hidden, either in like bomb craters or behind a bit of debris, just so that way then they can't see it and they run over it and you can get that free kill. But the frag grenade rifle, like as the name suggests, it's a launcher that launches frag grenades. Don't personally use it much, but once again, infantry game-based modes, or when you're attacking like a kind of claustrophobic area, really good to get a few shots in and sort of do some high sort of AoE damage to plenty of players. We've got the lunge mine, same with the support class. You get a stick with a mine on the end of it, and you can go and charge enemy vehicles as a last sort of ditch effort. Really good fun to use. It is a good sort of good to mess around with, and it is good fun. And then finally, we've got the pistol flamethrower. This was added in the last update. It's not as effective as the flamethrower. Don't really use it too much, as I'm mainly sort of sticking to sort of engaging ground vehicles and whatnot. But it is a good sort of time to sort of something fun to play around with, if you want to mix things up. But it's not the best it could be, but it's still a good fun time to use. And to round things out, we move into the grenades. So there's only one unique sort of grenade for the assault class, which is the anti-tank bundle. As the name suggests, best used against vehicles. I always use this sort of in pairing with the dynamite as well. Get some real good combos going. Can be used against infantry, but due to like the delay on the explosives when it's not directly hits a vehicle, it's not best to use against infantry. Whereas with vehicles, it pretty much instantly explodes when it hits it. And you also get the incendiary grenade as well. Good for sort of claustrophobic areas. You can use it in pairing with the pistol flamethrowers and frag grenades and stuff like that. But I primarily run the anti-tank bundle in all situations. There will be a breakdown in the description of everything I've mentioned above, if you want to kind of just go over it and sort of have a look at kind of things I've covered. But that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Any feedback that you have, really appreciate it. I want to make these videos the best it can be and give you guys sort of my knowledge from playing series over the past sort of 10-11 years now. So let me know if you got anything that can help me improve. And yeah guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to like, comment and subscribe. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Have a good one.